Are there opportunities to buy multifamily properties in West Hartford, Connecticut? This is a question I got asked from someone watching our videos on this channel and reached out and started to look in the area and wondering if it's only single families or if there are in fact multis. And the answer is, of course, yes, there are multifamily properties in the town of West Hartford, Connecticut. And I'm going to take us into our local MLS here to give you a look at some that have recently sold and give you some stats on it. Before I do, if you have questions on anything real estate specific about the town, don't be shy. Even drop them in the comments. This is a great way for me to put out more content like this and answer your questions in a way that is constructive and gives you some guidance. So grateful that this question came through. Now let's dive in and take a look. These are some recent sales here of some multifamilies. There have been 41 closed or pendings over the past year. And out of those 41, the majority are two families. This is going to be the most common. 32 of those sales were two family properties. One of them was a four family. One of them was a mixed use building. Okay. And then the other seven were three families. So the three families are a little more rare, but definitely available. So they've sold from, the biggest mixed use was 1.2 million, and the lowest sale was 325,000, a two family. So you can find them anywhere in between. Once you get into the three families, those are trading over 700 over the past year. You can see as we get up in the higher price point, you'll see three family, three family, three family. Some of the two families with bigger square footage are up here, but a lot of three families go in the 700 plus range once you start talking three families. The two families, again, this is depending on square footage. You'll see them more right around seven or below, depending on how upgraded they are. There was one on Ardmore I wanted to show you here. This is a two family. I picked this one out because this is on the same street as one of our offices. Yes, we have an office right in the center, but then we also have an office right on the corner of Farmington Ave and Ardmore. And this is a property a little bit farther down on that street. So I wanted to give you a little context and give you an idea what 700 get you for a two family here. Again, it's going to be a little more updated because this is a higher price point for a two family. This is the Morley School District. It is about a half mile from the center of town, so it's great proximity to the center, great proximity to the school itself and parks. As you can see, this was two 3-bedroom units, 3-bed, 1-bath. They were currently being rented at $2,500 each, which is pretty close to market rent for an updated unit like that of about 1,500 square feet. And these there is a 2-car garage on this property. This one was natural gas heat, and most multifamilies, they're almost all going to be public water and sewer, here in town. Now I'm going to show you some pics just so you can see, the condition. Kitchen's not brand new, but as you can see, it's been updated with cabinets. They do have the drop ceiling. That's hit or miss. Some multifamilies will have drop ceilings. Most of them will not, and they'll have either drywall or plaster. Plaster is very common in these older homes. And as you can see, this one staged nicely, well kept with the hardwood floors. You can see some of their ceilings are, in fact, drywall or plaster, and then some of them are tiled or squared. But even the paint's updated. Fireplaces are very common in these bigger two families, as a lot of them are older buildings where fireplaces were common. And as you can see, it's just really well kept in a nice neighborhood. Now, this is not on a main road. It is off a side street here, so you're not getting a ton of traffic. Although, because it's close to the school, Ardmore is one that will certainly get traffic. Another one I wanted to show you just so you could see the difference. This one's on Breton. This one's a 3-family now, but same neighborhood. Literally Auburn, let's see if I can pull up the map here to show you. Auburn is the opposite side of Morley. They're literally a block away from each other. And of course the map's not loading here. Let's go back into it. So Breton's here, Morley School is right here, and then the other side of Morley School would be Ardmore. So it's really literally on the opposite side of Morley. So same neighborhood. You can see this one has 2-bedroom units. Okay, so that, the 3 bedrooms are slightly more desirable. This property is 3,700 square feet. So even though the total building is bigger, the units are smaller, because remember that other building I showed you was 1,500 square feet a unit with 3,000 square feet total. So that's why their rents were higher. 3 beds is more rentable, and then also the square footage was bigger. This one on Breton here, you can see they're getting $2,195, which is pretty good for a 2-bedroom. And then the second floor, they're getting $1,695. Third floor was vacant. Again, 2-car garage, natural gas, public water and sewer, pre-1930 build, 1928. So very, very similar. The main difference is 3-family versus 2-family. Now, when we go through this one, you'll notice, it's still the updated kitchen cabinets, still hardwood floors. Paint is not as fresh, but still good shape overall. Cabinets were newer, as you can see. Not necessarily staged as nicely. And you can see the secondary kitchen has not been updated as nicely here with the older appliances, older cabinets. So a little more dated 3-family is pretty close in price to an updated 2-family, right? So this one's sold for $720, this 3-family here, okay? Now let's see if we can find you a more dated 2-family to get you an idea there on price. Let me see what pops out at me as I scroll down here. Let's take a look. I want to try to find something a little more dated for you. Let's take a look at Quaker Lane South. This is a little bit busier road here. Let's take a look at the condition on the inside of this one. This one's another updated unit, as you can see. So it is not dated. This one looks freshly painted. The floors are in great shape. Bathroom, kitchen. This is a different area of town, right? So this one's a little bit farther out from the center, a little bit smaller in square footage. So we're looking at 2,100 total square feet compared to 3,700 square feet in the one we just looked at. So price per square foot is much stronger here on this unit, which shows the great price per square footage there on this one. I want to try to find you one that is not as updated. Let's take a look at this one on Vera. Again, different neighborhood on this one here. Yeah, this is one that, as you can see, this one's a little more dated, right? And this is, I wanted to show you one of these because this is common. When multifamilies come on, you will see this beautiful woodwork. Yes, it's not painted all white, but it is, just got a lot of charm. Obviously, the tenants have a lot of stuff. Sometimes that can make a unit feel a little more dated. But beautiful hardwood floors, beautiful woodwork. You can see behind the tenants' belongings. You can see they've done the windows at some point, which is good. Older cabinetry in this one. It's certainly not original to the building, but it's not new and updated either, right? The bathrooms have the old tile, right? So this is the type of more dated unit that is very common. Now, this is a 2-family. It's got a 2-car garage. Square footage is 3,300. So this is a good size. This is comparable to that first one we looked at Ardmore. And you can see the price difference, right? The one on Ardmore sold for $700,000. It was all updated. This one, similar square footage, even a little bigger, and this one sold for $600,000. So it's $100,000 less, right? Also look at the rents. 1685. The Ardmores were 3 bedrooms, and those were at 2,500. So the condition of the multifamily, this is important if you're buying. The condition of the multifamily also determines the rental income, right? So the square footage determines rental income, and then also the condition. It's similar to a sales price. So in general, here in town, multifamilies are very desirable. I mean, think about it. There's been 42 sales in the past year. That's less than 4 a month. So there's not a lot of opportunities to buy these. When they come on, if they're priced right, they're usually pretty hot. If you're thinking about selling a multifamily and you're curious where you fit in this range, based on condition, size, etc., or if you're coming to town and you want multifamily and you want to dive in a little bit more to the financing, the numbers, the pros and cons, don't be shy. My team and I, we get questions all the time from people watching these videos. It's one of the reasons I made this video, because the questions came in. So hopefully this helps. If it helped you a little bit on your path, click subscribe. That's a great way for me to know, that the content is actually helpful. Have a great day.